All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need a.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Three Cocktails In, where we have addicting conversations between friends who have been there, done that, still want more.
Yes.
This will be our, go ahead.
Sometimes you just want more.
Yeah.
What was that commercial?
It was a Progressive commercial. It aired at a Super Bowl like 2 years ago, and it's a little girl. And
Yeah.
I still love that, and I think about it all the time.
It was a good
Sometimes you just want more.
Just want more. For sure.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Right?
And also kind of appropriate for the theme.
Right. Because this will be our first episode of the new year, 2025.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop-de-doo. Yes. So we're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk about if we have any New Year's resolutions. And based on our episode, the first one for 2024, where we talked about this, we're really not a big fan of actual resolutions. So honestly, have no idea what we'll talk about this one. You know, what we did. If we did anything, we might not have done anything. Heck, who knows? So,
and I'm actually not a fan of New Year's, period.
Yes, so, you talked about this last year too.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I've never
remind us of your thoughts.
Aversion. Aversion? Very cool.
My pessimistic view. I mean, so here, and I mean, really, that's what it is. And it puzzles me because I feel like I am a very positive person. At least I think I am. I try to look at the positive. But in regard to New Year's, I always look at it as another year gone instead of looking at as a new year in front of me. So it's one of the reasons why for a while there, we got into the mode, we would have a party every year because I did not want to not go and do something. And yet I didn't want to be out in the bars and on the road and whatever. So we would have a party, and that helped me over the hump. That was fun. But I have a different outlook on this year.
Yay!
Good.
I know. And it is because I changed my situation this year. So last year when we were talking about going into this new year, I was working at a job that was fine. That's that 4-letter word that none of us like.
Yep.
And I didn't have clarity at that point. I didn't know that I was going to be able to make this change that I did, but I knew that something was going to have to happen. I just didn't know what it was. So I have a much more positive view going into the new year because now I'm doing what I love to do. So I'm excited about what this new year is going to bring.
That's awesome.
It is. Yeah. Maybe a lesson for the rest of us, figure it out and just jump in, take a leap in 2025.
Yeah.
Yes. Because when you were saying you didn't like one more year gone, it reminds me of Kitty on Vacation. You're good. And then you get on the downhill, and then suddenly you can ruin your own mood because you just start thinking about having to leave.
Yeah. I think it's not even the downhill.
Yeah.
It's not even the downhill, is it?
No.
Isn't it at the very beginning? You're already ahead,
right.
Thinking ahead to, I only have 7 days left. Or I only have 60, already thinking that way.
It starts on like the first day. And I say this, Bill has to be on the receiving end of this all the time. First day that we're on a vacation somewhere, I'll say, I don't want to go home. Like, we just freaking got here.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That's
Well,
funny.
so the approach that I took, so one, I've never liked New Year's. I also don't like resolutions because I just think that it's just too much pressure. So I've just never, ever liked that. So I have adopted an approach where I pick a word for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is working for me. So last year my word was reach. And I had it written on Post-its. I had it in my bathroom, on the refrigerator, down in my jewelry room. I had it wherever I was most, so that I was always looking at it. And that word was really meaningful to me. It was a pretty big reach for me to go from where I was to where I needed to be to let my job go. So that was just where I had all of my focus and attention. And I really like it. So that's what I'm going to do again this year. And I haven't landed on my word yet.
Oh, you don't have it picked?
I've got a short list. So by Wednesday, I will have it.
The finalists, will be next episode. You'll be reading out of the envelope. The winner is.
That's right. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's a better mindset, or at least it helps you with a positive mindset.
Yeah, I think so. And the statistics around people keeping their New Year's resolutions, it's not good. And within 2 weeks, a large percentage have already thrown it out the window. And, by 3 months in, it's gone pretty much for everybody. And I think it's just because people, they try to redesign their entire, it's too much. It's too much pressure.
Too big. It's too big.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this last year, that it's great to have the big goal, but you've got to be breaking it down into much more smaller. Oh my God. Much smaller, attainable steps. And it's those daily steps that help get you. And so by putting the word reach in all different aspects of whatever it is you're doing, you're reminding yourself little by little. My, Kitty gave me a board with all the letters, and I have on it, and I've had it on there for a long time, but 1 foot forward every day. Just little by little. I think that setting New Year's resolutions is January, as I've said before, in the northern climate, it's the absolute worst time for me to be embarking on something majorly new. And also, why January 1st? It's so arbitrary. I mean, it's just a calendar date. It's on a Wednesday. It's the middle of why is this Wednesday any more special than any other Wednesday? So
just the flip of the calendar, something new. You're starting anew. But yes, January is the worst time.
It is the worst. I did something new this year.
Oh boy.
That has to do similar to this. You guys know how much, if you've listened to any of the earlier episodes, you know how much I hate goals and what's your why. Can't stand that. But I had to fill out a goal sheet for work. And they had like 16 different categories. And I just started laughing. I'm like, no, not filling out all 16. No. So I worked out, doing the math, how much money I wanted to earn this year. But I'm in a new neighborhood. And so I had to, being somewhat of a numbers person, I had to wait, and I had to ask my manager, I'm like, what was expected out of this neighborhood last year? I can see what was done. What was the goal for last year? What was, I can't just pick some goal when I have no data to base it on.
Yeah.
Because now I'm selling much larger, traditional, more expensive, very expensive homes. Well, I mean, not like $1 million homes, but expensive homes. you're just not going to sell as many of those.
Mm-hmm.
Although, so I did the math. And I'm going to have to sell a crap ton of homes to get where I want to be, which is a reach over last year.
Okay.
I'm already down 3. I've broken it into quarters. That's how our goals align. So my goals are different than the goals they have set.
Yeah.
And I'll find out what that is. But, oh my gosh. So I did it. Actually kind of based on some math, and I can track it a little bit, but it's my problem with those are like when I don't hit it, my mindset goes to, well, I'm already 3 behind. Instead of I'm 3 over what they set forth for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm only 3 behind. I'm only 3 behind.
Yeah.
I could be way more behind than I am. There's always next month. Well, but that was something kind of new and different. And I had to think about where are these extra home sales going to come from, to be built versus existing, because I don't have that many homes in the ground, and they're not going to build me that many homes.
Yeah.
In the next year. I'm going to have to find sales in other neighborhoods. I'm going to have to find people who want to build a home in my neighborhood. So it's forcing me to attack other ways of reaching consumers and realtors.
Rethinking how you're going to reach your goals.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to
be
employ some different tactics that I've had to do. Townhomes to big single family homes, different market, different areas of the metro, different buyer that's coming in. So yeah, it's going to be good, but I feel like the first couple of months I've just been in learning mode. So.
Yeah. Well, that's your business life. How about your personal life? You were making a big changes last year. So how did this year go?
Yes. So last year, about this episode, I think it was this episode where Amy's got the blues. I talked about the breakup that I'd had that I hadn't expected, kind of a shakeup in that part of my life. I know in a later episode, I talked about how some of the things I did want to accomplish in 2024, one of them was, I wanted to fall in love again. Well, that hasn't happened. I have my list of match dates that I've been on. Yep. Do you guys want a rundown?
It's a big list.
No, but okay. So remember, this is a social experiment for all of you at home that don't have the opportunity to be on Match when you're 50-something years old. So I'm here for you. I'm giving in this way. I went on at least one date with 12 different men this year.
There you go.
Okay. Of those, 50% were one and done.
Okay.
One date, no, not going to work.
Yep.
2 of them I went on 2 dates with, just to confirm what I pretty much just already knew on the first date, but 2 people I dated for like a month. So maybe had like 6 dates maybe in a month time, a little bit more than maybe once a week sort of thing. One I dated for about 3 months, kind of thing. And one I am 3 dates in to end the year.
Okay.
What have I learned from this experience?
Yes. What have you learned?
It is really good to have an open mind. I don't know if it helps in finding somebody to date. No, it does. I tried very hard to not get stuck on a certain set of criteria. So I went on dates with somebody who was, the youngest was 48. Went on 2 dates with 48-year-old. I dated somebody who is 65. So I did kind of the plus or minus range. I dated somebody who was unemployed, but was like, cobbling together some work. I dated somebody who was ready for retirement, had a retirement plan. I think only one of them had kids at home, kind of, and I was pretty right on that one. I think that still holds pretty true, that dating somebody with kids at home, it's hard enough getting 2 adult calendars to match, especially with my schedule a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
With kids in school, your weekends are the thing. That's, and they're not gonna be able, Thursday night is not their Friday night. Wednesday night is not a Friday night sort of thing. So it was eye-opening. I have not, yeah.
Was it in any way what you imagined dating was going to be when you became single?
Well, I did discover that I don't know how to date. It feels so different than dating in college, which was honestly the last time I dated. There was no internet in college. We were in college. Where did you meet? You had classes with people. You were in the gym with people. You were at bars with people. Your roommate had friends. I mean, it was just so much easier to meet people. So what I've discovered is men in this age range have very different ideas of what a relationship means. Start a serious relationship. So the filters, the things that I was pretty stuck on, there was only one thing that was a deal breaker. Only one. And that was they couldn't be separated. They had to be divorced, widowed, single. They could not be separated. Now, people can lie about that, but if anybody said that, I didn't want to have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
But once you get to that, then, one of the things is, you could say you don't know what you want yet. You could say you're just to see who's out there. You want to be in a serious relationship. I put be in a serious relationship. I did state my political affiliation. I don't smoke, I drink socially, different little things like that. I have also learned that men don't read.
Duh. You thought they did?
Yeah, they don't read.
They listened or read?
No. So I get a lot of I get a lot of men reaching out, and I'm like, did you read my profile? There is nothing on my profile other than we are both single that we would have in common. So it was going on first dates, sight unseen, was pretty much what I thought it would be. It's a little awkward, but also, you know what? You gotta have the open for business sign on. You gotta put yourself out there. Fortunately, I can talk to pretty much anybody. There were only a couple where I was like, how I felt the need to be polite and stay. Mm-hmm. Younger women, I've noticed, they feel no need to be polite, or so they say on Reels and Instagram and stuff. So I'm still a little old school that way. I would not just, you are not what you what you profess to be, and we're not going to be a match. So let's just not waste any more time.
Yeah.
I was ghosted, seriously ghosted, and that was a person that I saw for almost 3 months. I got a series of excuses why we couldn't see each other. And I would ask, and I'd get another kind of tall tale, and then nothing. I still have no idea why. And we were like, we're mid-50s, just.
Yeah, interesting. So do you think there's anything you can do that'll make it different this year?
I have to be careful because the person I'm seeing has been listening to these. So that's kind of interesting. He's very interested in my life. And all it's a new type of relationship. Let me put it that way. It could be a new type of relationship. So many people say it's not about what they say, it's about what they do. It's actions, not words, which I think is really that's a thing to watch in all your relationships. And I would not have thought about it that way before, but it really is true. People can say whatever they want, but you got to watch what they actually do. So that's something that I need to pay closer attention to. Very interesting woman who used to work at Google as at Hinge maybe, as their chief relationship officer. I don't know. Okay, plug your ears if you don't like swears. She wrote a book, and the chapter that she talks about most is F the spark. That you cannot rely on that only 11% of successfully coupled people say that it was love at first sight, and that you're shooting for a slow burn. You are that is the sign of the best relationships. So all that's very new. When you first start dating, you're kind of like a kid in the candy shop. You're like, ooh, he's cute, he's cute. And you meet him and you're like, oh, he's cute, yeah. Sort of thing. And I'm sure people thought that about, maybe they didn't think I was cute, but I got some messages back that were nice and said, hey, had a very nice time meeting you. You seem like a great person. Just didn't feel that. I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know, people. It's a whole new world. This falls into the thing that I think we're gonna maybe hit on pretty hard in January or throughout 2025, the three of us.
Yeah.
But if you are coupled up, and even if you are not, if you have a single friend, you need to be on the lookout for that single friend. You need to be, who do you know? Who do you work with? Who have you met that you could introduce somebody to?
Yeah.
Because it can't just be online. And you two know me.
Yeah.
So
I've always got my eyes open. I'm always looking for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So that was my love life.
Good. I know. Yeah, see, the rest of us that have been married forever, we'd just like to hear the stories and what it's like. And most of the time thankful that it's not that it's you and not us.
Yeah. Well, okay, so some other point we'll talk about the ick. When you meet somebody and find, the ick.
Yeah.
That is what I determined that Captain Morgan's and Coke was. That was the ick for me. You listen to one of our past episodes, I was talking about going on a date with somebody at this beautiful bar, and he orders a Captain Coke. Ick. Ick.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys cannot tell me I'm the only one that has a weird quirk.
No, I know that's a thing. I know it's a thing. At the same time, I want to think, oh, that's a piddly thing. There has to be, I don't know, that's a piddly thing to not like someone on. I don't know. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that wasn't, so maybe that Amy ended up being like, yep, that's the deciding factor or something.
Yes. Oh, I can
Yes.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when people say irregardless.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
mute point.
Yeah,
Mute.
it's a moo point
A moo.
from Friends when Joey said it's a moo point. It's a cow's opinion, so what does it really matter?
Right.
Jennifer Ann, Rachel says, how about
Yeah,
that
that's what she
Tim
said.
God, I
Tamarian? Does that
missed
actually make
Friends.
sense?
I so miss Friends.
I
Even
do
though,
too. Can you believe it's
Good job.
that old?
no, 30
Yes.
years. And
Yeah.
I watch it every day.
Do
Oh
you
yeah,
still?
it's on. It's always good to have on.
I do. That's my bedtime routine.
You can just kind of listen to some of it and remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was listening to Kitty's start to why she doesn't like New Year, I think I kind of identified that's what happens on my birthday or around my birthday. Is
Mm.
like I keep thinking, oh man, here's another one. It was an awesome year, but here's another one, another year gone. So I get your New Year's thing too. But
Yeah.
like I said, I think it's for me, birthdays. It's like, there's another year, and now we get to do this next year. And, although my year, I plan on this being an awesome year, already has been. I have a different view behind me today because I'm at my son and daughter-in-law's because they had um, little Mr. Theo Jackson 5 days ago. So I'm here helping, as much as I help. I mostly sit, but I do an occasional load of laundry and, make a meal. Oh, and I keep trying to teach him how to, wrap him up so his arms don't get out because they just, they have it so they're so dainty with him, and I just whip this one around and tuck it under, and then he can't get away.
Hey,
Oh.
you
We've been
should
doing a
do
lot
the
of
old jam
swaddling.
it.
What?
One of my babies wouldn't take a pacifier, and my mom was pro pacifier.
Jamming it in there all the time.
And I'm pretty sure it was Madeline because I was horrified, but she stuck it in Madeline's mouth and she put Madeline upside down. So there was no way she could spit that thing out.
She couldn't get out of it. Yeah.
How to horrify your
I know, it's funny.
by things our parents did, right?
I know. Well, even us too, compared to what they do today.
Yeah.
And I joke occasionally, like, to my kids, and they roll their eyes like, this is not what I needed for you to tell me that it's amazing that they lived, that we kept them alive with no schedule, no this, no that. And, it's amazing they lived.
Yeah. On that note, can I tell a funny story that came up Monday night? So, got to have dinner with all three daughters, my son-in-law, and we're sitting around, and the youngest doesn't drink pop hardly ever. And the oldest never used to, but she ordered a Diet Coke. And then you've got Georgia and I, which are, if we could have a tap in our house, we would be so happy. And so, Ava was saying, well, just drink the full stuff. The classic is so much better for you than diet. And I said, okay, well, maybe, but you know what? Based on the amount of aspartame I have in my system, if I was going to grow a third arm, it would already be there. And I start laughing, and Ava goes, you did have surgery for two things that were removed out of your chest that weren't supposed to be growing there. And I started laughing so hard. And Georgia, bless her heart, pipes in with correlation is not causation. So that was the saving grace. So yeah, me trying to tell them, look, I turned out fine, and they did actually point out I did have two very odd growths removed from my body. So
yeah, we're not going to correlate them though.
No.
Wow.
But kids keeping us real, right?
I didn't even think about that.
Me neither. And none of the doctors suggested that to me either. Either one of those issues were caused by Diet Coke.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, couldn't be.
So does Kitty, you're gonna settle on a word for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy's gonna have 2 grandbabies to have fun with all year. Do either of you guys have kind of things, projects, trips, things that you're looking forward to in the next year? I know that we've talked about that quite a bit, that a lot of times the joy of planning something,
right,
can be very inspiring and motivating. And maybe the new year should just be about motivation, not about, reworking your whole damn life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I might have mentioned this when we were together last. So we're going to the Dominican in February. And then I end up having 2 paparazzi trips every year. So our big convention in July, which is so fun. So I can't wait to get that. I'm on pace to hit my goals again, to hit diamond. So I'll get that diamond trip again in September. So these are kind of anchored onto the calendar. And then I'm thinking about what I can pop in
in the middle. Yeah. We just got back from a big trip to Aruba. So I need to make a new, I need to find the next trip to look forward to. Not sure where that will be. So we'll see.
I don't know if I'll make my sales trip for sure. I am working hard at it, but that sales trip that I won last year, that Kitty was my +1, it's going to be a tough one. I'm behind in order to go, and I've only got 2 more months to meet goal. So I'd have to have a pretty damn amazing January, February. So I'll just have to treat myself too. So I won't get to go to the Bahamas this year on the company's dime.
Yeah.
Well,
you still might, number one. And let's say you don't. I would assume that sales trip is for, not everybody gets to go, correct?
Correct.
I mean, isn't it for above and beyond? Right. So
how many do you think there were last year? 20 some?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's only 30 some on the trip. I mean, 30 some on the salespeople. Usually it's pretty attainable, but now that I think about it, I don't know if there were a ton of people that sold traditional homes, just traditional homes. There aren't too many neighborhoods that's our only product. But I would need to sell 11 traditional homes in the next 2 months.
There you go. You can do it. Now that Christmas is over, maybe people will start thinking about it again.
Yeah, so if you're looking in the metro area, the West Metro area, please look me up.
Here's the plug.
Right? They're beautiful homes, come with warranty. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to do another vacation. I want another big one. We'll see whether it's who's going with.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Kitty and I are always up for vacation.
Yep.
Well, Kitty's already got 3 planned.
Well, she can fit in another.
Yeah.
Can you ask your boss, Kitty?
I can speak with my boss.
There you go.
I
mean, if I am exceeding my monthly goals,
there you go. Then you can go.
Then I can go.
Right.
Yes. So I did find something, and I took some screenshots of this that might be good. Where are we at on time? So we're probably getting close here. Okay.
Yep.
So, and again, this comes from our good friend Mel Robbins. But she doesn't seem to have a lot of focus on resolutions either. But her post that this might have been, I don't remember if it was a story or if it was a reel from yesterday. There were seven things that can make your 2025 great. So go and check her out on Instagram. But so here's an example. Number 1, what are the people, experiences, and commitments that created positive feelings, energy, and memories for you this year? So what were those things that made you feel good? And then what are the people, experiences, and commitments that triggered negative feelings, energy, and emotions for you this year? What did you learn about yourself? What are you going to stop doing in the coming year? What are you going to start doing? What are you going to continue doing? What can you do today to take the first step in the direction toward making 2025 the best year yet? And I don't think it was a traction thing. Maybe it was a traction thing, but the whole what can we start doing? What can we stop doing? What do we need to do more of? Those things are used in business all the time, and I think that's a really smart way to look at just little. I don't want to say changes, little adjustments that you can make in your life, and I think it all does boil down to what makes me happy, and how can I do more of that and do less of the shit that makes me crazy and unhappy.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yes, for sure. Yep. Get rid of the bad. Out with the bad, in with the good. How about that?
Yep. Yeah.
I think part of that is also comes back to mindset. You only have so much energy. Why are you going to spend your energy on people, places, and things that are negative? Why give more fuel to that fire when you could be directing it towards the things that are within your control, the things that bring you joy, the people that make you happy, and the accomplishments, whatever they are, be it a clean house and folded laundry, that make you feel like you've done something well today.
Yep.
You know, I'm a horrible golfer. I am a horrible golfer. But I try and look at those 18 holes and not care at all about the score. But if I can find one good thing that I have done every hole, sometimes maybe it's a putt, sometimes maybe it's a drive, sometimes maybe it's the gorgeous flowers that are over here that I get to see as I'm looking for my ball. You know,
Right.
I try and see the one good thing that you've done, because I think you've got to find the positives if you're trying to tackle something bigger to keep yourself going. And it comes back to mindset.
Yeah. Yep. Expectations. We talked about that a lot early on in the podcast. You know.
Yeah.
What your
readjusting the expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And working towards your own expectations, not somebody's expectations of you.
Yep. Yep.
Or for
Absolutely.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have a shot before we end this episode?
I do. Actually, it's more of a tip. We are into sharing tips, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. This is the season of dry, staticky, you know,
everything.
I have a tip for fuzzy flyaway hair. Get yourself a softener sheet and just rub the softener sheet over your hair. I then put one in a Ziploc bag and I put it in my purse. And it seriously gets rid of all the flyaways. No hair. I mean, sometimes I put a little hairspray or something in, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you start your day with hairspray. By the second time you've taken your coat on and off,
Yeah.
that little softener sheet, just put it together, whoop, done. No more staticky hair.
Cool. That's a good tip. That's a good one. Kitty, do you have anything?
So I went on my quest today, actually got it today, for my planner for the year.
Oh, I'm going to buy one just shortly.
Yes. So I get so excited about these. So this was actually the best buy in the world. I got this at Target. Look how pretty it is. It says My Life, My Business. And it's not a business planner. It's a normal planner.
Calendar. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's got your month, and then it's got the breakdown of the weeks, and it's got some places for, goals and stuff like that. But it's not over the top. It's not like, what are your intentions and how did you feel at the end of the day? And those things are great. I think there's some people who love that type of journal entry, but this is just a planner. Anyway, this was on an end cap in the clearance, and there was a whole stack of them.
Oh, how much?
This was $3.
Oh my God.
Look at this thing.
Yeah. That was a good one.
So I believe you could still find these at Target right now. Target in Chaska had probably 10 of them.
Wow. Nice. Were they all the same design?
It was, yeah. It was a stack of this one, and I didn't. So this is Tabitha Brown is the designer of this one. I think she does a lot of stuff for Target. So I don't know. Maybe there are other designs as well, but so that is my tip. Go get yourself a planner because, and I mean, this might be a little big too. This is a big spiral bound. I work from home, so I don't have to carry this around. But then I remember, so this is Lori's deal, right? Lori, our other friend, Lori, she will always have one of these in her purse. It can be as simple as just the month that just helps you keep a little bit better track of what you have going on. So from the simplicity of this to the more detail of these things can be really, really helpful to help you focus on what's most important to you and what you deem to be most important to you as you go into this new year.
Right.
It's going to be great.
It is going to be great. I'm going to preface, we haven't really got the details for this, but we do have an idea of a coming up episode that is going to be more of a year-long progress, possibly. We're going to talk in one of the next episodes on how at our age you make good friends, not just, acquaintances, or maybe you want to move an acquaintance to a good friend, but how at our age, what are some of the tips, ideas, whatever, about making new friends in 2025?
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this kind of as an ongoing thing. Yeah. It's come up so often. We've got some people wrote in on things that they'd like to have us talk about. I've seen it in a couple of different other channels, sort of things, where people, not just women but men, are talking about how you make friends. And I think everyone can benefit from this. So yeah. I'm excited about that for 2025. I
am too. Well, our time is up.
Look at that.
I know. Look at that. So 3 cocktails in is going to sign out.
All right,
peeps.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Bye. Happy New Year.
See you soon.
All right. Ooh. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up. here I go, coming. I can't ever stop, I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top, I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration, let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past